Melissa.
Yes.
What is your favorite cocktail? Like if you're out at a bar, do you have a go-to drink that you do, or do you like? I think we kind of talked about this the other day, or I guess the other week. I think somehow we mentioned cocktails. I don't think I got like what your favorite one is.
I'm just a classic margarita hooligan.
Okay,
I will also order an amaretto sour because once I went to a Comic-Con and I caught part of a panel where they were talking to Haley Atwell and they asked her what Peggy Carter's drink of choice would be. And she said an amaretto sour. So that's just what I've always gotten.
There you go. Okay. Modeled after Peggy Carter herself.
That's hero.
That's a good choice. Yeah.
Are you beer?
No. I do like beer. I don't know I don't know anything about alcohol. I kind of want to know a little bit more. I think I've now watched a movie and I've watched a TV show about wine, and I don't even like wine, but I know how to do the like sommelier thing where you can like do that and you wipe it off, and then I don't know.
Have you actually done it in practice, or did you just watch that episode of Drops of God?
I watched it once.
We gotta do it. We have to have a wine pouring competition live on the podcast for no one, for the screen,
us. Right? For us to judge. Be like, Melissa, it dropped. You couldn't undo the little wrapper thing all the way around. It took you 2 tries. That's points deducted. No, I mean, if I go somewhere, I do like to get like, hey, what did you have like a local beer that's recommended or something like that? I do like to get something like that. But in terms of cocktails, I like an old fashioned. I
had to learn how to do that. I can't do a lot of whiskey and bourbon. Like it's so hot. It burns me in a way that I know if I just stick at it, it won't burn me anymore. I'll develop like the asbestos mouth, but it hurts.
Interesting. Well, I ask because I have a kitty cocktail, a limoncello.
Oh my God. Cute.
Yeah, it's a limoncello flavored soda. It has like a 50s style label. This is like it's like bright, like almost lime green, but I feel like lime green is darker. It's almost yellow.
This is a tennis ball color.
Yes, that's a good call. Is you drink limoncellos if you go to like, if I was at Wimbledon, I'd be like, yes, one limoncello, please.
If you're Wimbledon, I think you can drink whatever you want in celebration for having gotten to Wimbledon. As an athlete or a spectator, it sounds difficult. This is really funny that you've got a fake cocktail because I have a real one very rarely. My roommate is a friend over who just handed me a Cutwater lime margarita.
Okay.
And I'm like, Kyle's always got a specialty beverage and I just have my same Tervis water bottle, so I'll take it. This is 12.5 alcohol by volume, which is the most I've ever had in a canned beverage. It tastes pretty good.
This contains no alcohol because it's for
Would
kids.
You like it too?
Kitty cocktail. Well, I don't know. I don't know what this tastes like or what it's supposed to taste like. Obviously, with a name like limoncello, I'm thinking some kind of lime or lemon lime, something happening here, right? Besides that, I don't know what a cello tastes like. So
wood.
Right? Yeah. I sense notes of mahogany and so I am gonna dive into this one and sip on this while we do our podcast here. That is,
how's it taste?
Very lemony. It is like a lemon cream soda. is kind of what I
cream is
feel
here.
like it is.
You've described most sodas you have gotten as being not labeled cream, but secretly tasting like a cream.
I mean, that's like I think in some cases it like it's not a cream soda, right? But they have some kind of cream flavoring in the air, and then there's certain ones like this, which like there's a smoothness to the flavor that is not the like, oh, it's acidic and it's citrus. It's not just that. It's also not as carbonated, so it has like a softness to it, which I guess kind
interesting.
of like associate with cream sodas, right? It has like that creamier, smoother, softer aftertaste.
I had one of those little San Pellegrino cans, and it was aggressively carbonated.
Yeah. This feels like it almost has no carbonation.
Interesting.
Whatsoever. It does a little bit, but not much, and it is lemon flavored, but not in like a sour way. Think of like a lemon starburst or something like that. That's the kind of lemon. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 248 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, how are you? How's your week been?
Am I blurry?
Maybe slightly.
I don't know why. This is the first time
quite often.
This feels like the old sitcom where the wife's like, honey, do I look fat in these pants? And nowadays, the modern equivalent for millennials is podcast co-host. Is my webcam blurry?
It might be slightly blurry. I don't think you've changed any of your settings.
I've changed nothing. This is...
Yeah.
I didn't touch a thing with this super fancy webcam, so I don't know what's going on.
I mean, it's still like, it looks serviceable to me, at least here on Discord.
Great, that's what I aspire to, is serviceable. Thanks.
And I'm looking on our stream. What's going out to our stream? It looks fine to me. I don't know.
Okay,
Melissa, blurry?
You're the one who puts
Melissa,
this out. So if you're okay, if you're okay with fine, we'll proceed under the conditions of fine. I'll figure out what's going on with it later.
I'll look back at it after we've done the whole thing, when I'm making the actual video that goes up on YouTube, and if we need to mess around with your settings or something like that, we'll figure it out. But besides that, hopefully the rest of your week has not been blurry.
Some mornings I feel pretty blurry.
Right?
I'm training 3 new hires at the office right now, the most to date. So it leaves me feeling a little tired and a little scatterbrained.
It's understandable. Thankfully, I've never had to train someone in that regard, but I can imagine, like having to walk them all through. Are you doing it like at the same time, or is it like, here I have like a one-on-one session with you, and then one-on-one with them, and then
no, it's group training. They let me have the big conference room for all 3 of them, which is nice. We have a giant TV, which I think is maybe a detriment, because I'll show them everything and then I'll send them to their desks to do it on their own independently. And they're like, where is this thing again? And I'm like, I know I showed you 3 times, but I wonder if like they just can't see because they're not sitting that close to the screen. Because it's a big old TV on a wall, and then we're several feet away at the giant conference table.
Yeah. You just reminded me of something actually, as you were talking about that. Speaking of being blurry, that's also a question
I gotta crawl under
asked.
my desk and plug in my charger.
Sure thing.
So proceed.
I will continue.
I probably should
my
have just
story.
left without telling you. You would have presumed that's what I was doing. Where else could I go?
Stopped and made a bigger deal out of it. Been like, why is Melissa just like slowly sinking down underneath her desk? Anyways, the question of am I blurry is almost something that I get asked at work a lot. I have to deal with a lot of pictures that we put into emails and stuff like that, and every so often I get the feedback like, does that image look blurry to you? And I usually have to come back with the answer, no, but that doesn't mean it doesn't look blurry for you. It could be your monitor. It could be something else. And it also baffles me even more when it's like an image that we have. What? It was your charger.
I'm fine now.
You are crystal clear.
I plug in the charger and my camera gets 10 extra points of resolution.
I have no idea.
Okay.
It might be a like battery saving, power saving type of
that might be
thing,
it.
Right?
This is a hefty boy of a webcam. That makes sense. That it's like we can't give you 4K unless you're plugged into a wall.
Exactly. But it baffles me when the pictures that they ask me if they're blurry are ones that are just in the template and like we haven't changed them in like 2 years. It's like, no one has touched this. It's
just the university logo.
Yeah, it's the same picture as what it always is. And I did like they're always just like, but it looks blurry. I was like, well, if you really want me to do research, I can do research and all that stuff. And then the only research I can find is like, maybe their monitor's not an HD monitor. Like they might just have an old monitor. And like how big is the tab that you have open? Like that might be a thing. I don't know. How old are you? Like I can't really ask that.
Age,
but
sex,
like,
location.
Right? Yeah. I'm just like there's not much that I can do here with this besides say probably not.
This is so funny because I have the opposite problem at work where before we send one of the articles,
is too high def. We need to make this like standard. I don't want these academics getting
real.
4 whole Ks.
We have to make sure that before we send the accepted article off to the production system to actually be published, that the author has provided us high-resolution, standalone TIFF or JPEG files with 300 plus DPI. Should I tell you what DPI really means? No, but I know how to right-click on an image and see how much it is. And so often, these authors will give us figures that are positively potato quality.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this super pixelated, crunchy little graph you can barely read. This is what you want published. This is your ideal. You didn't prepare anything better. This is how you want your science represented. You can't give me anything else.
It's the same thing at my job. Like I don't understand how some of these like it's sometimes will be students too or professionals that like provide a headshot and it's like 100 by 100 pixels and I'm like,
oh my gosh,
understand that our minimum is like 600 pixels wide and that's it. Like I can blow this up but it'll be even more pixelated and that's it.
100 by 100 is the dimensions of a live journal icon.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely tiny.
You awakened some old feelings from me.
I don't understand. And like that is also another thing is that art for like our square images for a 2-column section in their email newsletter. I say our minimum is 300 pixels by 300 pixels. Now, technically, it can take 250 and we'll fill the whole thing. But that's like, it's so much easier, I feel like, to like remember 300 or 600. Those are the like the two sizes that we need. It's either full or half, right? And yeah, sometimes we'll get ones that are like 252, and they're just like, why is this blurry? I was like, well, it technically fits and is fine, but it's smaller than our minimum required thing. So if you have a bigger image that we can use, that might help. And they're like, well, can you size it up? And I'm like, technically, yes, but that will pixelate it. We actually need a larger photo, not a small one that we've blown up. But that's what I do all day. Just like, this picture is good. This picture is bad. Please don't send me this picture again.
You inspired me to go back to my old LiveJournal account, because I'm like, what were the 100 by 100 pixel rotating icons that I had in my account? And my LiveJournal is so old, it's like you have to update your password.
Oh, man.
And it's like, we'll resend you the password that you had before. Which I haven't seen. Not a reset, but a straight resend. And I type in my username and it's like, we don't have a password to resend. And I'm like, I know, that's because it's outdated. Like, it doesn't have a number or a special character or whatever. But I'm not seeing the button that's like, well, where do I change it? Carry on.
Interesting.
I don't need to know what my LiveJournal icons were.
Anyways, I guess we can move on to something else here. Let's see. I guess in other boring things I can mention, I finally got my crown on my tooth. It's taken
our most
almost
boringest
a year.
episode yet.
Yeah, the boring
How's that tooth
episode.
feel? Royal?
It feels
Do you have
very
a coronation?
royal. Season 7 of The Crown is all about me. Yeah.
Your dentist gave you a free toothbrush of your color, a little toothpaste, a little floss, regular mint or cinnamon, and an ermine cloak.
I have no idea what that
Crown
is.
jewels. That's
Sure,
that fancy cloak that like kings wear. That's red and it has the like black and white fur around it. That's an ermine. That's the joke.
Interesting.
Not knowing your furs.
Yeah, because I got hired full time at my job finally. Like just over a year ago. I guess a year and a half ago now. At this point, it was a year ago in March. I finally have good benefits. I could go to the dentist, get all this stuff. I was supposed to have a root canal and get a crown on my tooth basically by the end of last September. And it's taken them this long to finally get everything correct. It just mishap after mishap, unfortunately. And my partner has been like, I recommended you a bad dentist. I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, I think they're actually really good. I just happen to be that like 1 in a million thing where they like, shit, this thing happened and now we're going to have to do something else here. Okay. So yeah, the first thing is they took x-rays of my tooth. I just spit all over my table. They took x-rays of my tooth and they started the root canal, and halfway through the procedure they were like, oh, we found an extra canal that we didn't see and it's very small. Yeah.
What? Hold on. Stop. I know the phrase root canal. I've never had one. I don't know what it means except for a painful thing, a joke about going to the dentist. I'd rather have a root canal than watch this movie, stuff like
Right.
that. I never really thought about, like, your teeth have canals in them, and then I never thought about how many. So does, like, each tooth have, like, one canal regularly, but you've got some sort of weird twin tooth where you're like, there's a tributary?
I think they have the like two main big ones that you always see in like the dentist pictures of like, here's what your full tooth looks like, and it's like the things that extend down into your gums. But then I think you might be able to have like a third or fourth like small one. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, right. Like
okay.
It's the like two.
The canals are its little feet.
Yes,
it's got the little feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Man.
Exactly. Mine had like a third foot, but it was like an extra skinny long foot.
Wow.
That the X-rays didn't pick up. It was a tripod. Yeah. My tooth had a penis. Exactly. And they were like, hey, so your tooth has a penis. And they were like, it's we don't have the right tools because it's so small. Yeah, I was waiting for that reaction. There you go. And so they had to send me to a specialist to complete the root canal, which delayed like my full root canal by like a month. By time I finish the root canal, I've now used up all of my insurance for that year. They've like maxed me out. So I had to wait till the next year. They thought I could come back in January, but then there was a mishap with like, oh, we thought your insurance renewed in January. Most of them do, but because this is your first year having it and you were hired, like you just got it in March, you're like, for this first time, it won't renew until next March. And so, yeah, I went in and they had already taken a mold of my tooth previously, but because it was so long ago, they were just like, we're going to do this again, and make sure we get one that's a little newer, which I think was code word for they lost it. But yeah, so I had that in and then had to like finally schedule the actual getting the crown on today. So I have a tooth with no penis now.
That's good.
I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
Sure. When I looked at the teeth, when I looked at a tooth, it seemed like some little like radish guy who walks around on two radish legs. Like it looks like a character from
Basically,
Spirited Away. So I'm like, if it has two legs, a little third other part, I believe that's what a penis may be considered. What do you like most about your dentist?
What do I like most about my dentist? I don't know. I feel like they're not the like schwanky, like you can pick whatever streaming service you want to watch while we do all of the like they're not that like high tech, but they're not the like, we've been in the community for 60 years and the dentist himself is 90 and that's it, right? Like the like he's not that old. It's newer. They're in like an office building, like complex, like apartment complex looking thing. Not a single building, but like they're all scattered in the same park. It seems pretty upscale. It's in a nicer part of town. I have to go like across town to get there.
Ooh.
I like that's the like you don't really want to go to the cheapest dentist, right?
No.
But also them being expensive is not necessarily a sign of quality per se. So I think they're good. They're nice.
I only ask, seeing as how we don't live in the same city, me asking you what's your favorite thing about your dentist means nothing to my life. I love my dentist, like so sincerely. I love my dentist. I've been going to the same dentist office my entire life.
Here you go.
Since you're 5, whatever age you're supposed to take a kid to a dentist, whenever you get your permanent teeth in. And the dentist retired several years ago. Mm. I had no idea. I just come in for my next appointment 6 months later, and there's an entirely new dentist. And I think she was aware that she was stepping into this very old community dentist's office. And she took time with everybody to sit down and like formally introduce herself. And she comes up to me and she like takes my hand in between her 2 warm hands and tells me like her whole life story, but just like in the sweetest, most endearing way. Like, this is where I went to school. This is what my husband does. This is when we moved from India to America. I went to more dentist school here. This is where that was. So my husband does for a living. My daughter's in Girl Scouts. Here's everything. And just looking at me in the eyes, like it was like truly a life-defining moment. Like, it's so mundane to just get introduced to your new dentist, but just the way she did it was like masterful. It's truly a master at the bedside manner of being a dentist you see twice a year.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. I
just wonder if stuff like that happens to other people.
Not really. I don't know. I'm fine with dentists. I'm not scared of them. I know some people are, or they don't like them enough that they're just like, yeah, I don't really want to go. I've always been fine with them. They've told me one time that I have a high pain tolerance, because they're like, usually more people are like, when we do this stuff, they're like, ow, don't stop, right? And I'm just like, I feel like I should shut up and just let you do your thing and get it over with and not react. So I try to like not react, even if it does ever so slightly, being like, ooh, that kind of hurts. But I'm fine with them. I don't know.
We need to talk about something slightly more exciting than going to the dentist.
Something more brave.
And I want to introduce you to the Brave Boy Challenge, something I invented this week.
Oh boy. What is the Brave Boy Challenge? I feel like I'm gonna walk away from this podcast episode a coward.
No, you're not the one who has to be brave.
Okay.
My dad had his gallbladder out this week, and just a routine, not routine, but like a fairly minor thing to happen to a man of his age. He had some pain earlier, felt fine, went in, they monitored him for a day, and they're like, we're going to take that out. And they just did it like on a weekday afternoon, and then he was home like a day later, and he's like, I don't know, I'm kind of sore. So he's keeping us updated on this. For a man who's like that 69 years old, a pretty great thing to happen, that he just has an extremely minor, non-painful medical thing happen to him. But he's texting us kids updates, and I feel compelled to make everything a joke. I feel compelled to perform in front of my family and to truly make this a casual, offhanded joke to see my dad and recognize that like this, he doesn't like to be fussed over very much. And the joke is that I flip it around and I go the other way, is that he's like, hey, just got out of the hospital. Mom's driving me home. I'm doing good. My brother's like, oh, good job. Good news. Happy you're feeling okay. And I sent him a little sticker of like a teddy bear or something holding up a bunch of popsicles. And I said, all the popsicles for the brave boy. And I'm like, how funny is it?
The doctor had the gall to take out your bladder.
How funny is it that I refer to a relatively minor surgical event that my calm cowboy nerves 69-year-old father has to undergo, that I react by calling him, oh, what a brave boy. And I've just been laughing about it to myself all week. I want to do it forever now, for the rest of his life. Every time he has to have anything happen.
You need to go buy a bag of those suckers, those like the like fat like coin size lollipops. Yeah, and just
right. They have like a loop every for time. A handle. One of those.
Yeah.
I'm going to just keep doing it to my parents. This is my game. I'm going to play with them as they age. Every time they have to go get anything done, like, I got to go get my eyes dilated. I'm getting bifocals. I'm like, oh, what a brave boy. Oh, what a big girl, Mom. And my challenge is just that I offer this to you. You know, you'll call your parents who live in Wyoming. You'll check in with them. You're talking to your mom. Boy. And your mom's like, yeah, I got to get going. I got to drive your dad to the dentist. They got to put him under to do something. And you just say, oh, what a brave boy.
See, for me in that case, it might not work because my dad rarely goes to the dentist. He does not like them. He's gone a few times.
So if he goes, he is truly brave. That is truly an act of remarkable courage for Dad.
Exactly. He would be like, thank you. Yes. Yeah. I was a brave boy.
Your mom took me to Burger King afterwards. I got a treat.
Exactly. It's exactly what he would do, too. God. Yeah.
I don't know how my dad feels about it. He didn't text back, but I think it entertains me a great deal. I'm going to intend to do it for the rest of his life. And I offer this to you for use on any father, grandfather, uncle, or other.
What do you think his reaction was when he opened up his phone and read that text? What do you imagine your dad doing or his face looking like?
I think he just shakes his head. Well. I have seen him like on his phone texting his buddies or whatever. And he's quite stoic faced. It's just like a matter of business for him. I can imagine he looked at like every sincere well wish from my brothers with, like I said, cowboy nerves. He went into the hospital to get monitored for a day, and my mom's calling me, and she's like, yeah, I just took him to the hospital. I got to run home so I can get him his laptop and a couple movies he can watch in bed. He wants 310 to Yuma and Silverado. And I'm like, of course he does. Good he needs choices, the Cowboys to give him strength.
Exactly. Oh man. Like and that's the thing. Like if I also said that to my partner's father, I think that would be really funny to wow, what a brave boy.
Please do. Please. From the one photo I have seen of that man, he seems like he has a great sense of humor and would enjoy it.
I think it would get a good response, or at least would earn him making fun of me for the rest of my life. I can't wait until I have a father-in-law and I can drop this on him for the first time. Oh man. I was confused by what you meant. Rachel is in the chat, all caps. Do it. Oh man. I was confused by what you meant by brave boy challenge. I almost tried to look it up before.
No, it's not. I made it up. It's not on TikTok.
Brave boy
challenge.
I'm googling it to see.
Is it like teens jumping off of low level bridges or something?
Let's see if there's anything interesting. There's
the great thing about the Brave Boy Challenge, and truly,
books actually. That's kind of what it. There's like
Hold up, you're a brave boy from literary history. Paul Atreides. He's my hashtag brave boy this week.
Wow, when he stuck his hand in that ouchie box. What a brave little boy.
What a brave little boy. I'm gonna go see Dune 2. Walk out of the theater. Say to whomever I'm with, if I go alone, I'll tell a stranger. What a brave boy.
About to stand up for all of those people. What a brave boy.
Do it for anybody. I just say boy because boy is the funniest sounding word there is.
I like, there's some videos that come up. That's the first search result in Google, but it's like, this brave boy challenged the world's strongest man. This brave boy, David Laffey, took on the challenge. Brave boy is performing challenge number 6.
Speaking of boys challenging the world's strongest man, when my local theater did a production of Beauty and the Beast earlier this summer, they do the Gaston number where he's there in the rowdy tavern and he's like arm wrestling people, and they have Gaston arm wrestle a series of bigger guys until the final guy is a kid dressed as an old man wearing like a big trench coat and like a big beard and a floppy hat, and then the like 8-year-old dressed as an old man out arm wrestles Gaston, and then those 3 like swooning girls all go to the little old boy man. It was great.
I think we've gotten on to some interesting tangents despite our boring updates. With that, I say we take a quick break for some housekeeping. When we come back, I want to talk about some of the shows I've been watching, some stuff about Patreon and a new feature they included that I thought was interesting. And I think we will wrap up the podcast with a trailer reaction to the Continental. So we will be right back. Here at the Whatnauts, we make multiple different shows, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. If you enjoy our shows, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is the best place to show your support. For just $1 a month, you can get early access to episodes, and at our $3 tier, a Patreon exclusive podcast, The Pilots Club. You can even get
I realized I couldn't get my live journal password because I forgot my username had an underscore in it.
Thank you so much.
So I put in the username with the underscore. And it's like, we'll email you a link. And then I'm like,
thewhatnauts.com.
did I ever update my email? Is it still my old AOL? Can I get into that?
All of our shows will pop up right there.
So I keep checking.
Don't forget to give us a nice rating and review.
Even if I never look at it, I don't want to lose access to my old live journal.
And Twitch for video versions of the shows, trailer reactions, and
if I can get in, I'll
streams.
update you.
And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a hoodie or a mug or something else, head over to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today. We are back once again. Thank you for the money.
Thank you.
All of our Patreon supporters. Thank you for the money. We love you a lot.
Thank you so much. We love it.
It really does help us to run this show and all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts. So we do appreciate it. Cool things that we've been up to here at the Whatnauts. The Pilots Club this month is Veronica Mars. We got to watch the pilot of that show. It's one that I had always heard good things about, but never really checked out. And I think as a fan of iZombie, going back to check out a show that same creator wrote was just like, oh, I see it. Yes, I can tell. There's a connection here. So that was good. That was lots of fun. Over on the review show, we got to talk about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Volumes 1 through 3. We read some of the comics over on Boom Studios, and that was a blast. Those books have no right to be that good. They were surprisingly
they were a lot
fantastic.
of fun.
Yeah, they were. We also changed our lights and outfits based on something we did last week right here on the Captain's Log. We took a which Power Ranger are you quiz. And based on that, over on the review show, I had a Black Ranger t-shirt. and a Black Ranger helmet, which is now
he's back
on my
there.
setup. Back there, yeah. Right back there. It's blurry. You can't really hate it, but he's chilling.
I was the Yellow Ranger, so I still have my yellow microphone cover, which makes me look like I'm talking into a tennis ball.
Gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, if you have to make it to Wimbledon somehow, right? Let me in. Anyways, over on the Reactor Corps, we have our spoiler cast for the Venture Bros movie. If you guys got to check that out, go check out our spoiler cast. I think we had a great conversation on that one. I for sure enjoyed it. Yeah. So lots of cool things happening here at the Whatnauts. Please go check them all out. Yeah, that's kind of it for housekeeping. However, I on this subject of things that we've done here and Patreon and all of that good stuff, I saw it must have been today or yesterday is when they finally introduced it. But it looks like Patreon has now teamed up with Spotify to allow patron exclusive feeds on Spotify. So
that's
for
handy.
Example, yeah. So for example, we could take the Pilots Club and put it on Spotify, but you wouldn't be able to listen unless you subscribe to our Patreon, and then it would unlock it in Spotify. And I think that's really cool. I think that awesome.
Is nice.
Yeah. So I guess all of that has got me thinking. I won't say too much, but we're in the process of thinking about what next year and beyond looks like for the Whatnauts. And one of the things that I had kind of been rattling around in the back of my head was, now that starting next year would be the third year that we do the Pilots Club. I was thinking, what if we take our earlier episodes and we release those month by month as a normal podcast and just like, hey, this is our Patreon exclusive show, but this feed is 2 years behind. If you want the full catalog and you want the most up-to-date stuff, go subscribe. I
think that's fun.
Yeah.
No, I enjoy it when other podcasts do that. And there have been times where I don't know how to listen to our Patreon specific stuff. There's older stuff that we've done that I would like to go back and listen to that I have no idea how to get to. Like pre-Pilots Pilots Club stuff.
Like, link what you want, and I'll send you the links since you're
I was thinking about that episode we did with the crossplay guys where we talked about gaming mysteries, like weird mysteries and urban legends and stuff in gaming and around gaming. Like I got to tell you guys about Polybius, and we talked a lot about PT. That was a fun one.
Absolutely. But yeah, I won't get too much into what we're thinking about for the changes and stuff for next year, but I guess that's a hint that, like, hey, we're thinking of switching some stuff up down the road. But Patreon has been, the way our Patreon operates. You go subscribe to the tier you want, but instead of the way we've done it, is that instead of using Patreon as a platform to post the content on, we do that on our website, thewhatnauts.com. And so you can take your Patreon credentials and sign in to the members only area of the website, and you can get access to all of that content. And I think that works just fine. But it's also like, I don't know, like I've just kind of let Patreon be, and I haven't really looked in. They've been making some interesting updates.
Cool.
That has been like, oh, that's a neat feature. We should use that. Hey, that's a cool feature. We should use that. So that might be happening down the road.
Not to drag our off-screen business onto the podcast. I asked you if you would be able to give us a count of the number of Patreon specific episodes we've done, or like the number of hours of Patreon content we've done. Do you know if you'll be able to do that? Because I'm sincerely curious.
Yes.
What are those numbers?
Yes, I can do that. I have not yet. In fact, there's a completely different number that I've been meaning to bring on the podcast.
Wow, our special guest is a number.
Yeah. Eat your
Once we talk to Paul Bay, now we'll talk to 42.
But no, there's a certain stat that I've wanted to bring on the podcast for a week or two now, but I haven't put in the work to make sure that number holds up or is true. So I need to do that soon. It won't happen next week, because next week I will be traveling. So heads up that we are not having an episode next week, but I am saying it right here, right now, that the week after that, when I get back, the next episode of the Captain's Log, I will have that number I just mentioned, and I will have tallied up like the number of Patreon exclusive episodes, the hours of content, all of that good stuff, and I can bring that on and let you all know, because that is something that you had mentioned too, instead of just being like, this week on the Pilots Club we have this, but to have a number or a stat to be like,
yeah,
hey, we have over 100 hours of Patreon exclusive content for you to check out, right? That is like, whoa, they have a lot. Oh my goodness.
It's something
pearls.
I like as a listener to other podcasts, is like, put a number on this for me, please, or release like
Indeed.
a little snippet or something. We got to tease them. We got to give them an amuse bouche to get them on the Patreon.
Indeed. But yeah, we have plenty of stuff on the Patreon exclusive content tier.
Become a patron and nominate a snack for us to eat.
Sure.
If you give us like $3 a month, which is $36 a year, if you're like, I want you guys to eat as many flavors of Pringles as you can with $36. This is what I want my money going towards. We'll probably do it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Who knows?
Well, it'd have to be $36 divided in half. So you and I each get $17.
Yeah. God. Man. But yeah, they have some interesting things happening over on Patreon.
$18.
Okay. I said 16. That was what came out of my mouth. I can't do math. But Patreon has gotten my attention lately in a way that, so I guess just a little more background to give some context of why we do it this way. I think Patreon is a incredible platform that has helped a lot of people to monetize their art, whatever it may be, whether it is some crafty something, or they're painting, or they're live streaming, or they're podcasting, or something. And I think that's really, really cool. And when they started to offer RSS feeds that were private, I was like, that is a really, really cool idea. Here's the thing. I don't trust it, because it was just a link. So I like got on their support with them, and I was like, this idea sounds fantastic. And I was like, but what's to stop someone from taking that link to the private RSS feed and just sharing it out to whoever? And they were like, well,
honor
much.
system.
Yeah, and I was like,
which is what I've got for the
like that.
For the podcasts that I follow on Patreon, that is the system, and I'm not a criminal. I wouldn't download a DVD. I haven't shared them.
So I
Nobody's downloaded a DVD for me either. I would never ask somebody else to download a DVD for me.
I would absolutely download a DVD box set for me with the extra features and enjoy it. No, but like, that is the thing is like, I really, really like that. That's fantastic. I just need it to be a way for like, can they link that? And I guess this might be something along the lines of that, of Patreon linking to Spotify. Like this might be a way around that, instead of like the user linking their own Spotify account to the thing. Because what if they don't have Spotify, or who knows? But I was like, okay, well, I don't trust this link because it's not truly private. But I still wouldn't want a way to like allow people to listen or watch our Patreon exclusive podcast. And so we use our website. We just have a like members only area. And if you are not signed in using your Patreon credentials, and you're not at the tier level that I set that you have to be at, then you won't get access to the thing there. So I felt like that's more secure, which is why we did it that way. But now I might go back. I think it's just convenient, you know what I mean? So, don't download. You wouldn't download our podcast.
Kyle, that's what I'm doing right now. I went to YouTube and I looked up that you wouldn't download a car PSA. This is fun. Yeah. I can't wait to show this to the youth.
It's
amazing. I can't wait to, when my niece is a little older, to explain to her what a DVD was and how you weren't supposed to download it.
I saw someone with that as a shirt. Like, you wouldn't download a DVD on the shirt. And then that ad also makes me think of, I think it was it 8-Bit Christmas? Remember when we watched that on the review show? And there's that joke in there that he pulls out his iPod, his original iPod, and he was like, when I was young, this is how we listened to music. And I forget what the kid said. She was like, is this a tape player, or like, is this a Walkman? She says something like that, right? No, I think it was the other way around. He pulled out his Walkman, and she asked if that was the first iPod or something like that. And yeah, it's just one of those things of just like, oh, I'm getting old. I wouldn't download a DVD. Is your Walkman and iPod? What's happening here?
Is there stuff that you thought you might have done when you were a kid, as a grown-up, that now have just, time has passed it by? Not your time in your life, but like culturally, that thing doesn't exist anymore. Like, when I was a kid, I always imagined I would call the toll-free number on an infomercial, and like I would give them a credit card number, and they would mail me a Magic Bullet blender or something like that. And now, like, I imagine this still exists somewhere, but I don't know a single person who's like, yes, I called. They sent me the Sock'em Boppers. I've ordered my child the zoo books with the free tiger poster. Right. I've never called, and they're like, actually, ma'am, there's more. When my dad got out of...
You've never heard that in an actual sales pitch besides an infomercial.
I gotta start saying that to people.
Wow, what a brave boy. But wait, there's more.
I gotta start doing that on dates. I'm gonna say, but wait, there's more. And then I pull out my debit card and I pay for the drinks.
No, what you do is in like the about me section of your dating profile. Yeah, you put a few things and then say, but wait, there's more. Take me out on a date now and you'll learn all about it.
You'll receive a free Tiger poster. When my dad got out of his
my college experience.
When my dad got out of his Brave Boy surgery, I texted him like, hey, how's it going? Like, anything I can do for you guys? Like, can I help you? Can I help mom with anything? And he wanted me to buy him a lotto ticket. It clearly said as a joke, but I'm like, honestly, I've never bought a lotto ticket. Like, another thing you imagine when you were a kid, you're like, that's for grown-ups. When I'm a grown-up, I'll do that. And I've just never had
what's the one that's like in the billions right now? The Mega Millions is like 1.6 billion or something.
Well, I'm not
like
going
that.
in for that. I'm going in for the one that is like a little cartoon leprechaun on it.
I want the one with the leprechaun.
Well, your cutest lotto scratcher, please.
Exactly.
Which is kind of exciting that's still a life experience I have yet to look forward to. Like, sure. I can just go out some night with a friend and we stop at Quick Trip and I'm like, do you want to watch me buy my first lotto ticket and scratch it off? You get to be here for this. I'm in my 30s.
You could do that for your next like birthday.
Oh my God.
It's just like, hey, give me scratchers. Like,
I'm going to go up there like, it's my birthday. Please give me the scratchers for adults. I am of age. Like, act like I just turned 21 when I will be turning 33.
Oh man. I had something happen to me this week. I got hoodwinked by Netflix.
They showed you the movie Hoodwinked?
Yeah, right. I think I've watched that one like once. I remember it being okay. It was good, I think. I don't know.
Yes.
No, but so you know how on Netflix when something is new, it will say new. Right?
New.
Exactly. Or in the rare case where they do a show that they don't release it all at once and it is a weekly show, they'll have a little thing that says new episodes Saturday, right? Or new episodes every Saturday, right? So I saw a trailer, or I saw a poster on social media for season 2 of The Uncanny Counter. It's a Korean show. I watched the first season a couple months ago. I really, really enjoyed it. And I saw this poster for season 2 that it was out at like the start of this month, like a week ago. And I was super excited. I went to Netflix to like double check, and it was like, yeah, like season 2 out next week. And then I think it came out like the last Friday is when it came out. And then I finally got it. Like, I got done with the show that I was watching, and I was like, I'll watch that one next. And so I started up Uncanny Counter season 2, and I got through episode 4, and then it was like, here's the preview for something else entirely. I was like, what? That's weird. And this whole time, I also had something else in the back of my mind. It kept saying new episode on a certain date. And I was like, that's strange. It had like new episode on Friday or something like that. So I thought that was the like season 2 out on Friday, and they just never changed it. I was like, that's strange. That's weird. Because I went to the page, I went to episodes and all that stuff just to see like how many episodes it would be. It said 12. It had slots for all 12 of them in there. So I thought it's like, oh, they're just gonna dump the whole thing out on that date. No, they did not. I got hoodwinked. Only the first 4 were out, and they're releasing like 2 episodes every weekend or something like that. So I was expecting to watch the entirety of the season, but no. I got hoodwinked.
No. And you gotta be patient.
Yes. I'm halfway in this. I'm a third of the way in the season, and I have to stop and wait now. So that means I have to watch other things. I'm so upset.
You don't eat your whole bag of trick-or-treat candy at once. You get 2 pieces a night after dinner. No. You're not allowed. This is how you got here.
I'm an adult. I want the adult scratchers. I am of age.
Adult scratchers.
I am a brave boy. I can handle the entire season.
It's not too scary.
It's not. I promise. So I had to watch, and I had to stop and move on to a different show. I watched Capitani seasons 1 through 2 on Netflix.
Where is this from?
It's from Germany, but it's set in Luxembourg. So I learned something.
Cool.
That they speak Luxembourgish in Luxembourg here. And I was like, I didn't. Isn't Luxembourg in Germany? Like, what's going on here? No, apparently Luxembourgish is a German dialect with a lot of French mixed in, kind of like Spanglish, right? It's like Spanish and English mixed. That's what Luxembourgish is. Because I happened to, like, when I hit play and the like info pops up, it had all the like audio different things you could do, and it said Luxembourgish, and I was like, I didn't even know that was a language. What is happening here? I learned something as a result of Netflix hoodwinking me.
I googled Luxembourg. This is stunning. You're so lucky to have seen it, that Netflix allowed you the privilege of looking at some Luxembourg. This is like a little fairy tale place. Remember when we watched In Bruges? We got to find more stuff that's like that. That's just, you're stuck in one quaint little European town. Get used to it. Watch and enjoy.
It's interesting because season 1 of Capitani is set in a small town out in the woods, kind of like your pretty standard like small European town out in the forest, and something dark is happening. There's a murder. The whole town has secrets, right? But I guess the little village that they're in for season 1 is near Luxembourg. I don't know exactly where. But in season 2, it takes place in the city. But you don't see much of it. But it has that like European, like tight city streets and alleyways. But then it also has like a newer technology, and like the bus system that you see, at least in the show, like looks shiny and new, and it just looks like cleaner and interesting. It's just like, that's not
city looks old, but bus looks new,
right? Technology new, architecture old.
Imagine.
So that was interesting, I guess. I don't know.
Cool.
Last but not least, I read Tekkon Concrete, which is a manga that I have been meaning to read for a long time. I watched the animated movie a long time ago for a podcast.
Because I know I've read that word. I know you guys did an old episode of the Whatnauts podcast about it.
One of
you
my
can act
favorites.
like
Yeah.
You can look at you not saying the specific name of this podcast you used to do.
Yeah,
like you can just brush this aside,
podcast that I was
slide
on.
it under the rug. Like I didn't listen to that thing, and that's how I even got here. And I can remember episodes that you did. You can't pull the wool over my eyes.
I'm trying to hoodwink you. I feel hoodwinked. It's your turn. But yeah, I got to read that. It's on the Viz manga app. I read it all in one sitting. Good book. I enjoyed it.
What's it about? A robot?
No, it's about these two young boys who are orphans and homeless out on the streets of Treasure Town.
Not to pigeonhole anime and manga, but to pigeonhole you.
Yes, I know. What is this about? Another Gundam? What is this, some space
In what country
opera,
do they do the crime
show? This is a psychological thriller. Okay, Kyle.
This is Perry Mason.
No, they're fake. But Perry Mason's season 2 was also very, very good. But no, it's about these two kids. They are orphans and homeless on the streets of Treasure Town. And it's just kind of this story of what happens to them and how they are kind of tied into the city, what they do with their lives, what these two brothers mean to each other, stuff like that. There's this level of kind of surrealism and magical realism in the story. I think from what I remember of the episode of the Whatnauts podcast, there you go, I said it this time, that we did on that, I kind of remember questioning how much of it was real and how much of it was just in one of the characters' heads. But I don't think that's necessarily the case, but it's a good book. I like it a lot.
Nice.
So there you go. Do you want to switch over to the Reactor Corps mode so we can do this trailer reaction and get out of here?
Let's react.
Let us react indeed. All right, I'm going to hit the button to switch us over to the Reactor Corps, but I think our cameras are going to freeze for just a sec. So stick with us. I will keep talking in case my audio switches. It is fine, but just FYI on that stuff. So there we go. I have hit the button to switch everything over. Our cameras are frozen at the moment, and they should be back right now. There we go. Cool. Okay, let's see here. The Continental. Pull this up. Big screen, and I guess so what we'll do is we'll do a trailer reaction to this will be the end of the podcast, so when we do our sign off at the end of this reaction, that'll just be the end of that. We won't have to do our social medias again at the end, but let's get started. Can I I think I get to hit the button to do the intro of the Reactor Corps in this. We've never done that before. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna hit the button start right now. Welcome back to the Whatnauts Reactor Corps. My name is Kyle Springer. I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson for a new trailer reaction. Melissa, the Continental. How excited are you? Are you excited for more John Wick universe spin-off stuff happening here?
I enjoy the John Wicks quite a bit as somebody who is new to the genre of what I call unhyphenated action movies, where there's not a superhero or an alien or a spy to really speak of. Just plain old vengeance and crime and guns and motorcycles and things. I've really enjoyed the time I've spent.
Hotels.
Right. I love hotels. I'm excited for a hotel-based action drama.
Yeah, indeed. We've been excited for this. We did a big spoiler cast on John Wick 4 here on the Reactor Corps, and then on one of our previous on a different podcast that we covered John Wick 1 through 3. So yeah, I'm excited to start heading into spin-off territory with this. I think we did did we do a reaction to the like initial like teaser trailer that they did? Okay, yeah. So I was gonna say either we did or that was we like talked about it on one of our other shows or something. But we have our first official trailer of the Continental, the 3-part spin-off for John Wick, which I guess follows a young Winston in what, like 1960s New York, as
sometime he's in the 70s.
He's a young whippersnapper coming up in the world of assassins. So I'm going to bring this up on screen here so we can get started with our reaction. I'm going to count down from 3 and then I'll say play and we'll do our typical thing. So 3, 2, 1, play.
Trailer starts now.
Starts now. Not now, but now.
The suit doesn't make
suits.
1970s New York.
It's what's inside the suit that counts.
It's the meat inside the suit.
And perhaps an open
Big windows. Kissing.
Well, what are you waiting for?
I haven't finished my drink.
Oh, yeah.
This sacred institution.
From the world
Don't do
of
that.
John Wick.
Beyond your imagination.
It for sure it looks good.
Your brother stole something from me.
This hotel looks incredible. That was what's his name?
Mel Gibson.
What he took
Yeah,
is
that's the
very
one.
important to a lot of very dangerous things.
This is shot so well.
Find him.
Ooh, I like that mask.
I'll bring the weight of this whole institution down on
We're
you.
full of spooky masks in action movies nowadays.
Show our guests the door.
Love to see young Charon in here too.
You're my brother.
Yeah.
We have to strike first. And I need all the help I can get.
How are we supposed to believe a guy in an ascot can pull this?
Haven't you guys seen Scooby-Doo?
It's a cravat.
Ascots are very trustworthy, as are cravats.
If we're gonna take on the Continental, every freak in that hotel will be after us.
Please see examples of said freaks.
Amazing. Love me some good freaks.
We need guns. Lots of guns.
It's a call back to John Wick's line. That looks great. I love the hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, this looks like it's delivering on everything John Wick has.
More than vengeance. This is
I haven't seen a dog yet.
Hell yeah.
let's take this house.
Oh,
John Wick
I love
could
how
make it
gold this whole
more
trailer is.
blaxploitation. Yeah, the like kung fu instead of the gun fu. There's still guns in this,
Here we go.
obviously, but
I will be checking in September
begins
22nd.
September 22nd. That looks good.
That looks snazzy. Yeah. That is one of the strongest aspects of John Wick is just the production design at large.
Yes.
The world building and just how everything looks outside of the action set pieces themselves. I love just a good suit. And not in real life, but on the movie screen or TV screen, a nice cigar, a snifter of brandy, real old school, like
a
classy
good
man stuff.
limoncello kitty
Right,
cocktail
a
that I've
good
been sipping on
novelty
here.
neon
Yeah.
green kid soda.
Yeah, like that I think from what we can see in this, I think it's really gonna shine when you're inside the hotel, because that practical set just looks awesome. The lighting is incredible. That's, I think, what John Wick is known for. There were a couple scenes in here where I thought the CGI didn't look great, but that's the thing. It was CGI when they were away from the hotel. So I don't know like how far we're gonna go from the hotel. So I like, that was one scene. I'm showing it again when they're on the bridge, that I was like, that kind of looks real fake. But
you weren't there. You've never seen a real bridge. You don't know what they're like.
You don't know my life, Melissa. But I don't think they're gonna go too far. I don't think that's gonna be a real problem for this show. And yeah, this looks great. I like these masks. I like the like blaxploitation like vibe that is happening. These like 70s style.
It seems like they are truly using the most of what was in the culture at the time and place in which they are going.
Exactly. This looks fun. 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I hope they're each an hour long. I don't know, at least, yeah. Who knows?
I'd imagine an hour. I feel like I'd hear if it was longer or shorter.
I could also see them being like an hour and 20, hour and
right,
30,
like a Sherlock
like
length.
Yeah. That'd be fun. But yeah, I think this looks fantastic. I cannot wait for this. I know they're also working on a spin-off movie, The Ballerina, I believe is what they're calling it. I think Ana de Armas is in that one. Is that right? I don't know, but yeah, this looks good. I'm excited. I need more John Wick in my life.
It's a nice place to visit all the hyperviolence.
Absolutely. I think that about wraps us up for our reaction, unless you have some final thoughts that we skipped over. Do you have anything else that you want to
just excited for fancy suits. If anything, that might be the hyphenate form of the action genre that I like most, is suit action movies.
It's what suits you most.
It does.
There you go. And it's not the suit that counts, it's what's inside the suit, as they said here, right?
Sure.
Whatever, let's wrap things up. Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
I have had accounts under the username Wilkywit, WILKYWIT. Look me up there. If you send me a message, I will respond. If I'm not there, then I'm not. Good luck.
You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer on X, on Threads, on Blue Sky. And if you
I don't want to go through all of that.
I'm throwing it all against the wall to see what sticks. For the Whatnauts, you can follow us at the Whatnauts on X and at Threads. We are also on Blue Sky on there too, or we're at the Whatnauts official on Threads. Whatever, you can look us up, you'll find us. But yeah, this has been our trailer reaction for the Continental. So yeah, we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.